Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with My Hero Academia. Last time on My Hero Academia, we had Roaring Upheaval, where, we continued on fighting the Vanguard Action Squad of the League of Villains. We also had to deal with Dark Shadow going nuts, and we decided that Dark Shadow would beat Moonfish, and then Todoroki and Bakugo would create lights so as to calm Dark Shadow, and then they were all going to escort Bakugo. They ran into Uraraka and Asui, who were facing Toga, and Toga did collect some of Uraraka's blood. Apparently she was supposed to get 3, but she only got 1, whatever. Then, let's see. A guy named Mr. Compress stole Bakugo and Tokoyami, and then they went after him. There was a Nomu that Yaoyorozu and another guy put a tracker on, and they were all converging on Dabi and the Deadpool guy, and then Midoriya, Todoroki, and Shoji tackled Mr. Compress right in front of the rest of the Vanguard Action Squad. Also, Kurogiri's there. Yeah, that's that. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. This is also where I say that if you want to watch my reaction to this episode of My Hero Academia, you can head down in the description or to the pinned comment. Click on the link. That's the reaction. Watch that. Hopefully have a good time, and you can come right back here once you're done for the discussion. So yeah. We might as well get right into this episode of My Hero Academia. Here we go. Yeah, we're not going back to camp. Man. We're not going back to camp. Shit's over, man. And you understand where Kirishima is coming from, but I don't think... The only thing I could think is going with All Might, you know? But here's the thing. If they know about the bar, and they know about the tracker, then if you send in All Might and like 20 other pros, you know? Send in 20 other pros. Send in the entire faculty of UA, you know? Aizawa, Vlad, 13, whatever the hell Vlad's powers are, by the way. Midnight, Present Mike, Snipe. Send in everyone. The principal, send them all in. Then I feel like they could do this, you know? The only thing is... Okay, because, you know, I don't think that they're... Oh, send in the remaining Pussycats, by the way. Send in Tiger and Mandalay. Send them in too, you know? Like, if you send in so many pro heroes, I think they'll be alright, you know? Especially if you have All Might there. Because the only person... Well, okay. There are 2 people that could challenge All Might. One is the original Nomu from the USJ attack. So if you made a Nomu that strong, but even still, All Might beat him anyway. The only other person who would be a real challenge to All Might is All For One himself. Which that is my next question. Are we doing this? Are we building up to taking on All For One once and for all? Oh my gosh. Oh. Or I guess I should. I guess technically it should be. Are we taking on All for One, all and for once? I guess that's. I don't know. I like as I was saying that I was like, oh hey, these kind of like match up. You know. And man, All Might has to be feeling the guilt trip, man. He's got to be feeling the guilt after he already kind of felt guilty about the USJ just because he was late, you know? Like he wasn't there from the beginning. And he wasn't there from the beginning. He wasn't there at the at the Hosu incident. And then he wasn't there he wasn't there when Shigaraki confronted Midoriya, and he wasn't there at the training camp, you know? Man, we got a lot in this episode, I have to say. So I think All Might is definitely feeling guilty about all this, you know? Also, by the way, you know what I just thought of? You know who else you need to send in with them to go face the League of Villains? Endeavor! Send him in too. Be like, hey, Endeavor, we need help, man. Like, we're sending in every pro hero we can possibly think of. You know? Send in Endeavor. Get Gran Torino, for fuck's sake, you know? Like, get everyone. Get Mount Lady. Get the Tree Guy. Get Death Hands. Everyone. Call in everyone, you know? Man, we did lose Bakugo. Bakugo was captured. Okay, I don't think they can turn Bakugo, you know? It's like, oh, well, it's his violent tendencies that, you know, they notice, and so they want to turn him to the dark side. But he wants to be the number one hero, you know? Like, with everything, as bad as Bakugo is, he still wants to be a hero. So I'm not sure if they can really do this, you know? I don't know if they've really thought this plan out. Man, and I hate everything, you know, all the crap that the media is saying about UA, you know? Man, oh man, this is insanity. Insanity. And this is so much worse than the USJ, you know? Because, you know, at the USJ, they said afterwards, like, well, there weren't really that many injuries other than Midoriya's injuries, and that was just because of his own damn quirk, you know? Which technically happened here again, you know? It's his own damn quirk, you know, that he can't control fully, you know? So that's why he was injured. Otherwise, at the USJ, it was just, you know, some cuts and scrapes. That was about it. You know, the worst person that got injured was Aizawa. Meanwhile, here, at the training camp incident, it's so much worse, you know? So many people, at least 4 students were, you know, horribly, you know, knocked on their ass. So what was it? Hagakure and Jiro are still out because of the poison. Yaoyorozu took a nasty hit to the head by that Nomu. Midoriya, it is kind of his own, you know, it's because of his own quirk that he got that injured. But at the same time, you know, it is technically injuries he sustained fighting Muscular. So the 4 of them were out. Bakugo was captured, so that's why there were only 15 of them there. And Yaoyorozu was the first one to wake up. I'm glad they said that Recovery Girl came over, you know? Because Recovery Girl didn't come over after the Hosu incident, you know? We lost. This is kind of an Empire Strikes Back moment, honestly. We lost. We lost. We lost Han Solo, too. We lost, Bakugo. This is totally an Empire Strikes Back moment, I don't think they can turn him, though. I think that's how their plan is going to fail. On top of the fact that, now All Might pretty much knows where they are. They know where the bar is, and they know where that Nomu is, which could probably lead him to All for One. But I think the main reason this plan is going to fail is the plan is hinging on turning Bakugo into a villain. And I just don't think they can do that. I don't think they can do that, As angry and violent as he is, I think Bakugo is so stubborn and determined to be a hero, to be the number one hero. Because think about it. I think honestly his philosophy might be his way of thinking might be, I want to be the number one hero so the people will always remember me, The people are always going to remember All Might. Everyone is going to remember All Might because he was the number one hero for, 20 years maybe this has been? I don't know how old he is, but maybe more. Maybe it's 30. Maybe 30 is, I don't know, he might be in his 50s, I don't know how old All Might is, actually. But that's the thing is that, All Might is definitely going down in the history books, as the number one greatest hero. And that's what Bakugo wants, That's what Bakugo wants. The villains don't get that. The villains don't get that sort of recognition, And the prime example of that is All for One. Because no one knew about him. He was the top villain back in the day, back when all these quirks started. He was the villain. And in 200 years, no one knows who he is. Midoriya didn't know who he is. He's not taught in schools, So I don't think that Bakugo would want that, I think Bakugo wants to be a hero because he believes he's the best. He deserves to be the number one hero. He's a lot like Endeavor, honestly. But still, Endeavor is a hero. Bakugo is going to be a hero. I don't think they can turn him, Man, this may be the bleakest we've ever been on My Hero Academia, Let's hop into the notes. The first thing I wrote down is save students. So, okay, this does lead into Kirishima's anger at the end, but that's the thing is that this definitely... You can understand where Kirishima is coming from. He thinks that he needs to be out there. He needs to try to help. But Aizawa makes the most sense, That, look, they are here for students. We know they're here for Bakugo. Likely they're here for more students. So we need to keep the students safe, We can't risk any of them getting caught, So, I understand that, It's honestly the same thing as the USJ. Even though at the USJ, they were there for All Might, But it was still... Yeah, and again, they also say, Aizawa gave them permission to use their quirks, but only in defense, Only in defense. So... But you can understand why, Kirishima would be like, well, if we had all been allowed out there, we probably could have taken them, but I don't know. It's the same thing as the Hosu incident, like, yes, technically it was good for Ida, Midoriya, and Todoroki to take on Stain. However, when they do explain the law, it makes the most sense, It does make sense, you can't, even if you have good intentions, you can't go out there, You can't do this, you're not allowed, You can't break the law just because it suits you. That's what the villains do. Even though, yes, because they went out there, because they defied the law, they were able to save Native. And they were able to save, each other and capture the hero killer. But still, it's a tricky situation, It's a tricky situation. Captured. We did save Tokoyami. But we did not save Bakugo. We weren't able to save Bakugo, which is unfortunate. But, again, I don't think they can turn him, so... I have to say, I kind of find, of all the villains, Dabi is kind of the most annoying, He just seems like this prick edgelord, Like, honestly, like, he of all of them, I'm kind of finding, when he starts prattling on about stuff, like, honestly, I find him the most annoying. Him and the Deadpool guy, I guess. Mainly the Deadpool guy just because he's Deadpool. And that's cool for Deadpool, but this guy's just kind of annoying. But Dabi is kind of especially annoying to me. I don't know. I don't really care for him. He just seems like a prick, Which he's a villain, but when he talks about, like, oh, I don't think you can... I don't know. It's just the way he talks and the way he walks. No. But the way he talks, he's just kind of an annoying, We had the aftermath. Fucking 4 people in a hospital. Ragdoll's missing. Not dead, but missing. We don't know what the hell happened to her. We only caught 3 of the villains. Muscular, the gas guy, and Moonfish. So that's unfortunate. We only 3 of 10, so there's 7 that are still out there. 4 of the students were hospitalized. Everyone else was pretty alright. Bakugo was captured. Well, that's just Class 1A, Class 1B, there were also some injured there too, And then we had the discussion at UA, which was interesting. Okay, we did have that little tease of Principal Nezu saying, it's like, oh, well, there's something I've been wanting to implement for quite some time. And that got interrupted by fucking All Might's call, Now, okay, first off, we did have more of All Might's guilt about what happened, And they did at first sort of play it off to a more comedic effect where he's like, all this was happening and I was enjoying a nice bath. It's like, all right, man. It's like, okay, that was a little funny. But, while they had that, they also had the more serious side of his guilt, which was good. But they also said that because of All Might, there is no organized crime. That was really interesting. Which I guess we've kind of gotten that hinted at before, but this is the first time they just outright said it, is that, pretty much every villain has just been sort of on their own. It's every man for himself, Since All Might arrived on the scene, there has been no organized crime in the world. That is incredible, But that's why the League of Villains poses such a threat, is that they are the first organized crime since All Might, since All Might, changed the earth, basically, So that was very interesting, We also got talk of the traitor. There is a traitor in UA, which is pretty interesting. Because, yeah, how else would that have happened? How else would this information have gotten there. So I don't think it... I obviously don't think it's Aizawa. I don't think it's Midnight or Present Mike. I would trust Snipe as well. Obviously, anyone can trust All Might, you know? We can all be pretty sure that it's not All Might, you know? And I would be pretty positive that it's not Nezu either. So, who else does that leave? 13? No. And they also said, you know, it could also be one of the students as well, you know? So, they're not limiting it just to the faculty. It could also be the students. I wouldn't think it would be... My first guess is Monoma, but I wouldn't think so. No, I don't know. I don't know who the traitor could be, you know? Like, they all seem... I would trust them all, you know? But that is now a big... That's now one of our issues. That it's now out in the air. There is a traitor in UA. We'll have to figure that out. And then we got some good news with they did find the bar because they were able to ID Dabi, which is good. And excuse me. Oh god. And they also have Yaoyorozu's tracker, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, we're gonna be going now. We're going to the League of Villains. You know, we're gonna try to cut it off at the source. You know. So that'll be pretty cool, and we'll have a bunch of heroes there, but sounds like we're also going to have some of the students there as well. At the very least, Kirishima. I don't know if Midoriya will or not. Maybe. He might. I don't know. Maybe they'll all go with. We'll definitely have to see, but that is kind of our question going into next episode since they left us on that cliffhanger is, are we all going to join the heroes and take on the League of Villains? And kind of our big question now is, are we leading to All for One? Man, that's going to be crazy. Because, I mean, we already know that All Might was able to best All for One. He did it before. He didn't kill him, but he did defeat him, you know? Now, honestly, because yes, All Might is weaker now, but it almost makes me wonder, like, well, maybe if Midoriya is there... I mean, that's a thing. There's something that I don't think they've ever tried, you know? Because Shimura didn't do that. It sounds like from what happened, that didn't happen with Shimura, you know? That didn't happen with Shimura, and then Shimura died, and then All Might took on All for One, but he didn't kill him. So maybe this is where we're going, is Deku and All Might versus All for One. I'd love to see that. So yeah, that is pretty much it. A crazy episode this was. What a twist! It was twisty. Shyamalan would be proud. But yeah, that is pretty much it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Hero Academia reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.